Hi guys, new week and so of course a new episode of the Electronic Corner. Our guest today is Mick Irma, better known as Moogulator. This is something I learned during the interview actually, because as you will hear at the beginning, I called it Moogulator or something like that. Oh well, you always learn something new. Anyway, Mick has a lot of things to tell us because he's not only a musician, he's involved also in many other, let's say, gear-related projects. So let's go to meet him. Hi Mick, good to have you here with us today. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine too, thanks. Actually, okay, I have an allergy, so that's why I have to wear glasses today because my eyes are in terrible conditions. But apart from that, I'm in a good mood and really looking forward to learn more about your music and all the other stuff because I know you do lots of things, so that's pretty cool. And well, let's start with the name of your music project, Moogulator. I really love that. And it makes me think that you have a soft spot for Moog products, I guess. Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's
So,
it's 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 rather yeah. It's more coming from a fun situation. I needed a name for a forum to post in. It was just about gear, and at that time, it wasn't about music. Of course, the forum was about music, but I just needed a silly name. So I was interested in the emulator 2 or emulator 4, which I was using at that time. So why not combine that? So it's
I
just,
see.
yeah.
So it's not that Moog, let's say, means something more to you compared to other brands, for example.
Mm. No, it's not advertising within my name or something.
Okay.
It's just a name. It's like yeah, just something. You need a name for something. And it was sort of, yeah, coincidence. I've used that name because I had a project called Consequence before, but
Oh,
it was a bit too generic for me, and I was about changing the style. This city always already has a different style, so I thought it was better to change to another name. Uh, but I had some bad feedback about this because Moogulator sounds a bit like I'm demoing some electronic synth stuff, but it's actually my project name. So
I
maybe I
see.
chose the wrong one, but now, yeah,
No,
it's
it's
already
cool. And so, yeah, quite correctly, you say like more the German way. So it's like Moogulator, it's not Moogulator, right? So it's,
Yeah, you can use it. You can if I've chosen Roland, which is a important name. My name would be Rollator, which is in German,
yes, it's
which
even
is for
even
elderly people. So
even
and
worse.
it's just that. Yeah, it's so it's really, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
just
leave it
because
that
you
way.
wanted a funny name. Okay, so
No,
actually, we
it wasn't a funny name. It was sort of cool because there's a tour, but the pronunciation of Moog is really Moog, as the Mr. Moog says himself. Originally, it was Moch, but
ooh,
the Netherlands way, but he thought that would be a bit too hard. So it's like Moog in Vogue this time because
oh,
speaking people may find it easier to pronounce it. And I'm using this when I don't think how it should be spelled or expressed. It's just Moogulator because it's easy. It's like names of synthesizers like MS-20. It's in German. It's MS-20, and you have to think twice. It's not JD 800. It's JD 800. Something different. Just just your language or my language.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That's the same in Italian, of course. Now,
Mm.
so which brands do you actually love or use most in your projects?
Yeah, on the live set, I have a lot of Roland and Korg stuff, but because it's just best for that performance, it's not chosen by brand. It's chosen by yeah, actually by what is best for the music because yeah, that's all. It's and I
Mm,
needed a small synthesizer, and at that time there weren't so many on the market, so I went for one of these, and
cool.
this microcorg, and it's just because of its size. It wasn't the best I could imagine, but as you see, it's it still works. But this is something I've been using a lot uh, for playing polyphonic stuff, and it can do almost everything. So it's really more artist based than sticking to some company. And I don't use a Moog on stage. Only used one on one concert at the Maschinenfest. It was the only time when I was were using this Moog. There's
Oh,
one
oh,
behind me, but I don't use it on stage, of course.
I see. Okay. Well, actually, you're very active in internet, with gear-related stuff, more or other things. For example, you run or collaborate with the sequencer.de forum, with
That's my,
gearnews.de.
yeah, yeah, I've used, I've
Synth
created
Magazine. You have your own YouTube podcast, Sequencer Talk. And by the way, people can see now the link on the top right. Yeah, exactly. All that kind of stuff. Now, of course, I must warn everybody, it's all in German, unfortunately. So unless you speak German, probably you cannot really enjoy what you have to write or say. But the question is, of all these activities, so like writing articles and reviews or moderating a forum, running a podcast, which is the one that you feel more comfortable with, or they're more or less the same to you? You just enjoy everything the same way.
yeah, of course, the driving force is the music and performing. That's what I really love, and that's really that's really kicks everything out. So yeah, it's what drives me to make all these things. The forum was easy to make, so I did it myself because I've been in forums before, and it's a lifetime thing, I think. And all the other stuff, yeah, it's just something I really wanted to do someday, and I did it. So the last and newest one should be the 4-year-old sequencer talk, which is really more fun based than earning money from it. So that could be the newest, and normally you like the newest the best. Like the last album you did, it's the best you ever made, or something. Uh, maybe this kind of thing, but in general, I love everything I do, and
Actually,
sometimes I drop something when it's getting boring or um, too much work for it, or not really. Yeah, maybe
I see.
if it's not interesting enough for everyone, I would stop it. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like trial and error, You start
yeah,
with something new. Maybe in that moment you're interested in it. Then after a while you lose enthusiasm, or you see that the reaction from the people is not what you were hoping for, and then you do something else. That's pretty normal. I think that's how we all learn and find our way then to do things. Now, is this your being so busy one of the reasons why you don't release so much as a musician? I mean, or at least as Moogulator, I could not find, many albums.
yeah. There's of course this one. which is an album, and there is another one like this, and a vinyl one, which is in red. You may see it
Ooh,
there,
oh yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah, we can see
blooming
it
through
partly
it. Yeah,
easily.
but you're right. I did not really. I'm not really producing much because it's nice these days. It's quite hard to be in that field, and trying to sell things. I don't really love it, but what I really love is the contact. So it's on the concerts. You can see it. You can even me as an artist, I can see how they react, and that's the best. So I always tell them, go there or you won't ever see it. So it's best to see me live on stage. And yeah, you don't if you don't see it, you don't see it. So that's my more recent concept, because after I think 2005 or 6, the world changed a lot about producing records, and that brought me to to that solution to make it this way. You can still have something on YouTube, and I play on LSB TV and stuff like that, and any concerts. So there is still a chance, but I don't think it's a good idea these days to really yeah, you know all that stuff
Make
about
yes,
streaming,
yes, I do.
all
Yeah.
these things. It's too much to tell, but that's
Okay,
mainly the
that's
reason
the
why
mainly
it's
reason.
so
Okay.
real fun to make it. But of course, it's a good feeling to actually make a new album and hold it in your hand, stuff like that.
Yes, indeed.
I
And
understand.
especially when the production is so good. I mean, the other day I was listening to Frozen and Locked. That's the opening track of the Digital Anatomist project. That's your album, exactly that one. And I was really impressed by the production. You know, I was wearing headphones, and it was like an explosion of sound. It was so clear, well defined, but deep at the same time. You know, I thought like this is Kraftwerk, even though as a
Oh,
style it's more similar to like Square Pusher or Aphex Twin or like Warp Records, let's say in general. But in terms of tightness, you know, and cleanliness of the production, it was really spot on. So I was wondering, did you do it all by yourself, or you have like somebody
just
helping you with? So you did recording, mixing, mastering, everything, all on your
yeah,
own?
everything done by myself. But of course, on this one, these normally I design my uh, cover design myself, but this time it wasn't. It was made by Entertainment, and they
Huh.
also did some final mastering, which is really normal, because they might do a little, put a little hands on it. So I don't want to, yeah, to ignore that. So it's fair to be honest, and that's of course something like the level of each song should be the same and stuff like that. That's so. This is what they did, of course.
I
So
see.
it's there is a change, but the producing it and stuff like that is all by myself. And if you want to see it, have a look at my live concerts. It will be
Yes,
almost the same, but always a different approach. It's never the same. It's the same songs, but different versions always.
of
So
course.
it's worth to see it, to watch it, and to listen to it.
And you never contacted Warp Records. You never tried to have a deal with them, because that
Uh,
music is perfect for them.
Actually, I tried that after my record, which was called Real or Not, which is different. It's more yeah, kind of synth pop crossed over with Britzelpop, which is the name or the genre. Well, I don't know. It's 3 or 5 letters long abbreviation genre. But yeah, I tried it, but they said something that what labels do. It wasn't interesting
Oh,
to react on
release.
that. I don't know. I don't remember. It's quite a long time. I think it was 20, 23 years ago or 24 or
Oh,
something. And I never tried again because I'm really bad at asking someone for things. So I never asked people to play somewhere, please. Yeah,
sure.
it's not why I can't
Well,
do it. It's not my
You,
not my
you you you
thing.
you had your chances though to play live since we mentioned that, and in fact, just to tell you a bit of story behind it, in one of the first episode of the Electronic Corner, I interviewed Sergio Calzoni. He makes ambient music, and he was telling us how thrilling it was for him to play in a church one day. And I know you have done the same because there's a video on YouTube that now people can also see the link on the top right. You played in the Nazareth-Kirche in München, or Munich in English. And by the way, I used to live in Bogenhausen, so I know that area pretty well where where you played. And so I want to ask you, how was it? What kind of experience was that? Was it something special or just like playing in any other venue?
It wasn't the first time in the church. I've been playing in cultural in concerts in churches before. So of course they are the building itself is different because there's a lot of more reverb and hall stuff, of course, and different feeling because a church feels different from a normal club or something, of course. But in this case, it was 2 concerts. One at this church was for ambient waves festival, and that is something that was organized by a friend who's really into this music, more the older kind of music like Tangerine Dream and stuff like that. But he's open to newer music, and I would not call myself young, but compared to that, in the musically, it's like that. And he does a lot of cool stuff like visuals. So I said yes, and then how it feels, it's completely different in all the places. So this one was something in a city that's expensive within a normal area where people live. So it's not the typical club thing. So it feels completely different. And there's other bands that uh, don't fit too much. It's not the same kind of music, but that's always interesting and challenging. So they can yeah have a listen, and I like the room, and and checking or listening to the people, to the audience, and some way change my music to work within or to make this room part of my music. But it's a bit strange to or it's hard to answer because it's not even in German. It's I don't know, but I think
Okay.
it's
Yeah, but I think you gave us the idea of what you
Mm,
mean. That's really good. Let's move back to the gear stuff now, since you're indeed an expert, and I want to turn you into a wizard now. So let's pretend you work in a big synth company and you have like special powers. Then you can invent anything, like something that does not exist yet. You just snap your finger, and that thing that you have in your mind is reality. And of course, it must be something that would make people think, and be interested, and it must have that like kind of like wow factor. So, what would it be? Have you ever thought of something that does not exist and that you wish it existed because for some reason, it would either make your life easier or it would make it cooler to play or whatever?
You sort of hit the nail in one uh, respect, because there's older stuff, older synth or groove boxes sequences I perform with. They are really cool for jamming. The new ones have a lot of memory, a lot of functionality, but they sort of lost this direct jammable feeling. I would like to bring that back, to have a real accessible instrument with a good sound. Uh, of course, best to have it all in one, so I don't have to carry that live case around. It's hard to tell, but at the moment I'm searching for new stuff, for new gear to fit in. But that's the reason. It's not something which really doesn't exist at all, but I know about or what the features are and stuff like that. I would like to combine it to my uh, to my likes, and I think that would be enough to have it, to make my music, or my current music work, or my next music work. I don't know, about in 10 years or something. Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
sort of this kind of course, there's more like a brain to audio interface or something, so I wouldn't even I just can think of it, and it's just falls out of my brain into something that would be cool. But I think it's okay to have
Mm.
something to, yeah, to manufacture, to actually form the sound with, and that's my special hammer.
Yep. That was very very clear. Thank you. Now we are already to our last question, the one about a sort of demonstration, let's say. As usual, I have no idea what is going to happen now, so I'm really looking forward to see what you have prepared for us, and let's watch it now. Wow, interesting as usual. Thank you so much, Mick. I mean, I'm so happy and so lucky to have so many talented artists, willing to show us here how they they work in their studio. And yeah, this was another educational video that I will really cherish. So, thank you so much for the time you have devoted to us today, and well, good luck with all your many projects that you're dealing with. And well, till next time, maybe. Take care.
Thank you.